what's up, popcorn people? Thanks for joining us tonight for another Pop Chat Live, where we spotlight the people, the passion, and the power behind popcorn sales. So you're in for a real treat tonight. We've got an amazing guest, and we're going to get to him in just a little bit. But I want to kick off with a few things first. My name's Adam. Again, pleasure to have you tonight. Thanks for everyone who's able to join us. Be sure to stick around. We haven't done this before, but tonight we're going to give away two $100 gift cards. And to be eligible for those, make sure you put a comment in the comment field, and hopefully you'll win for a chance to win. So that's exciting news. And if you have not heard about our rewards program this year, if you haven't seen it, let's take a quick look at all of the great options for your scouts to choose from this year. If you aren't aware, in the past, we just had an Amazon gift card for scouts. Now we have 15 different choices with Amazon still in the mix. So got a lot of scouts excited about this, heard a lot of positive feedback. It was really fun to revamp this program this year. So again, Adam here. I'm here in Indiana. Excited to bring this Pop Chat live to you. If you would, please take a second in the comment. Let us know where you're tuning in from, where you're joining us from the Facebook world, if you will. We love to see who's here and where you're from. Hopefully we can get scouters from Alaska and Hawaii and Illinois and all of the great states, right? So please drop some comments in there. Let us know where you're from and who you are. That'd be great. In case you weren't aware, popcorn is actually underway in many councils, which is awesome. That's exciting, and many more councils are actually starting this weekend. So more and more scouts will be out in their communities asking for support, and it's such an awesome thing to see as scouts get out there and earn their way and have a lot of fun in the process, and all of the other great character development skills that come along with participating in the popcorn fundraiser. So, but let's take a quick look at our top selling units so far. We've got it up on the screen here, and I will tell you that number 6 is actually who we're going to be visiting with tonight. Not to give it away, but check out some of these awesome units and the amazing things that they have done so far. Yeah, exactly. How you like that? So congrats not only to these 10 units on the screen, but also to all of the packs and troops that are participating in the popcorn fundraiser. We really appreciate all of you, for the record. So speaking of top selling units, again, we have someone tonight who actually embodies the values of scouting and has made popcorn a part of his troop's culture. And bear with me for a second. I'm going to read this because I don't want to screw anything up. But Scott Baker on screen now. Hey, Scott. Hey. He's a dedicated scout leader from Troop 499 in Grayson, Georgia, in the Northeast Georgia Council, and serves as the district popcorn colonel for Sweetwater District. Under his leadership, his unit has overcome challenges, created new traditions, and built a culture where young people thrive. And popcorn has helped make that all possible. So Scott's story is not only inspiring, but it's also practical. And he's here to show how any unit can take a vision and some creativity and turn popcorn into more than just dollars. So Scott, pleasure to have you tonight. Really appreciate you taking your 1 hour of scouting a week to join us, and can't thank you enough.
Yeah, I'm very glad to be here. Thanks. So to tell you a little bit about myself, this is my 6th unit in a troop. I originally actually joined in a Cub Scout pack with one of my sons, with my oldest son. So I did 9 years in Cub Scouts, was a colonel for a couple of years down there, kind of before the app and before storefront sales. So back when we were almost entirely paper. And then I've also spent a couple of years in venture crews. So I've kind of been a little bit of a lot of different places.
That's awesome. That is awesome. You mentioned paper. I mean, could you imagine doing the sale now still on paper?
No, not at all.
Yeah, that would be insane. Yeah, I would not recommend that. So yeah,
no.
But incredible job last year as Troop 499's popcorn colonel. With your guidance, your scouts were able to sell over $100,000 in popcorn, which is absolutely awesome. So congratulations, Scott, to you and to your scouts and to your parents and everyone that made that possible. but obviously your leadership was I imagine a big part of that. So
Yeah, yeah, it's really strange going to where we've gone because we essentially order our popcorn by the pallet now. In fact,
oh
actually,
my,
we ordered I think 7 pallets of popcorn for this year just to start. And so yeah, yeah. Wanda found it strange when I asked her how many cases go in a pallet. So yeah,
that's great.
it's
That's
been fun.
awesome. Holy cow, by the pallet. Because when you go to the order screen, there is no pallet ordering for units.
No,
So you're
no.
actually like doing the math and doing the conversion and ordering by pallet. That's
Hmm.
crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. So, man, oh man, good stuff. Congrats again. So tell us, how did your troop go from selling $3,000, this was years ago,
Mm.
to last year being one of the top 15 highest selling units in the entire country? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So it was very much. I kind of got talked into selling popcorn in front of a storefront with my son that very first year,
Okay.
and my son's name's Isaac, and he really just caught fire. I mean, he got excited, um, and as we did it more, he started to realize what was possible, and we just started to make a plan those first couple of years, and we started communicating it to the troop, and then we just started setting big goals and doing the things that we needed to get towards them.
Very good. Yeah, a meaningful goal, right? So that sounds like a recipe for success to me. So you mentioned goal. Tell us a little bit more about that goal, if you would.
So we went when Isaac and I started selling. That first year that I was colonel, we sold 14,000. That second year, when people kind of grabbed on, we sold 65. Uh, and at that point, we knew that the home that our troop had been in for 65 years was going away. The lease was going away because we're one of the few units in our council that we have our own space. We have our own
Yeah.
building,
Yeah.
and which is pretty special. I mean, we've hosted district events and things like that before, but we knew it was going away, and we knew we needed to find a new place, and we had to have some money to be able to fix up or do whatever we needed to do to that place. And so we kind of set a vision. We said, this
Okay.
is where we want to be in a year, and you guys need to help us work towards this. And that's kind of how the nexus of how it all started.
Okay. Okay. So that was kind of the rallying cry,
Hmm.
and then a big goal came from that, and
Yep.
before you know it, what seemed impossible, became a reality, and people were able to see what popcorn can do. That's awesome. That's great. Very good.
Yeah.
So what has popcorn success meant for Troop 499?
Well, a couple of different things. We have obviously we've gotten into the new building and talk about that more later.
Okay.
But the other thing is our scouts have really started to learn about thrifty, about a scout is thrifty, and about gaining the confidence in seeing your work bear out in something that's really valuable to you. I mean, our scouts now, when they see that new building, they know that that's here, that this troop is still thriving because of them.
Mm.
And we've built a few different things, but one of the other things that we've built is we have what we call the Phoenix Scholarship, which we started 2 years ago. And because of our popcorn funds, we actually send 2 scouts every year to what's called National Youth Leadership Training, and we send one of our adult leaders to Wood Badge, which obviously is a leadership training course. It's the highest leadership training course in scouting, and we just make a point to pay it back every year. And yeah, I don't know that I could talk well enough about it. I'm so excited about what's happened and the way they've grown. So
That's incredible. That is awesome. So that scholarship you mentioned, I think you said that's kind of just within your troop, you're saying? Is that right?
yes, yeah, and
Wow.
we ask our scouts that we send, we ask them to kind of like a Wood Badge ticket. We give them a couple of things to write down that they will work on in the next year in the troop to improve the troop and kind of leave their own legacy. And that's been pretty successful so far. So
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Another question for you. How does the popcorn sale affect, other scouts and leaders within your troop?
Yeah. Okay. So, just one example. We have a scout and his family, who would have been a little bit more limited in what they could and couldn't do in the unit without popcorn. He was a pretty shy scout, and one of our other top sellers took him under his wing that first year, and he really, standing in front of stores, started to gain confidence and learned to talk to people. And he has thrived. His parents have actually gotten involved in the troop. In fact, his mom is actually my assistant treasurer, and she also does our trip planning for the unit. And she's actually gonna, I believe she's going to Wood Badge here pretty soon too. But it's just one of many examples of scouts, even like my son Isaac, who were quieter kids. Like my son was a homeschool kid. This other gentleman was not, but just came out of their shells and learned more about who they are, and also paid for all of their scouting because of it. So,
Hmm.
I mean, yeah. I mean, at this point, I would say probably 60% of our troop activities are paid through popcorn.
Is that
So,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's been pretty amazing.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. Very cool. Good. Well, what about, Scott, what about you personally? What has popcorn done for you and your family, would you say?
Mm. So popcorn for me has been a growing experience. I've learned a lot about building teams and spending time and investing in other people as leaders. One of the other things I've learned a lot about is how to motivate, how to have conversations with parents, and just bring people together and get them excited, and then kind of point them all in a direction, and work towards a goal. Um, that's been great for me. I actually went to Wood Badge last year and completed my ticket. Actually, a lot of the stuff, including the scholarship, was part of my Wood Badge ticket. But it's just been neat. And I went outside of my council for Wood Badge, and so I got a chance to meet other people that I wouldn't have necessarily met, and kind of build those relationships a little bit wider than just kind of my small circle. So
Okay.
it's been pretty great.
Okay. Yeah. And I love seeing those pictures. Thanks for sharing those. Those are great to see. What about, and I think you hit on this a little bit just a second ago, but what about some other things as far as your own personal growth as a result of, the leadership roles that you've done, being a popcorn kernel and just popcorn itself? How about some of that personal growth on your end?
Oh gosh. So one of the other things is actually my son's popcorn selling paid for he and I both to go to Seabase. And
Mm.
so I actually got to lead a team of scouts, myself and a couple other leaders. And we spent a week and a half on the ocean. I'd never been snorkeling in mangrove swamps or in the ocean, and that was pretty incredible. Um, but yeah, um, and then obviously moving on to a district colonel's position, it's been fun to kind of spread that further, because now it's not just about me helping to motivate our scouts and watching them be successful. It's now, hey, can I help motivate those other leaders and talk about how we make plans and how we set those goals and do those other things that really make it grow.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. I have never been to Seabase. I've seen some amazing pictures, so I'm jealous.
Mm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And is it is this your first year as district colonel, or have you? Is it
Uh, this is my first year as district colonel. I did
okay?
3 years as the unit colonel, and actually part of my deal I made was, if I'm going to take the district colonel position, I had to hand off the unit colonel position, because that's anytime you have a colonel position, there's a lot of work involved, and trying to do two is too much.
Yeah.
So that was a big part.
Well, you've got the troop in a really good spot, so it makes sense to be able to hand it off. And then
Mm.
and kudos to you for jumping into that district colonel role, because obviously now you're able to expand your knowledge and help others in the district and help even more scouts. And so kudos to you. That's awesome. Um,
Mm.
so Scott, a question for you, kind of a
Hmm.
loaded question, but I'm curious what you would say.
Uh-huh.
In your opinion, why should all units participate in popcorn? What do you think?
Oh gosh. I think a couple of things. I think the biggest thing to me is the why. And for scouts, we spend so much time talking about outdoor activities, about camping, about all these other things. We don't always spend a lot of time talking about the skills inside, the learning how to be thrifty, the learning how to talk to people and have conversations, and learning when you're in front of another adult and they say no, what do you do? How do you react to that? And that sort of stuff I think is so big. Another reason, obviously, is the commissions that units receive from the sales. I think that's a big thing. In our council, I think we get as much as 37%, depending on if you hit targets and things like that. But there's no other sale that we do that you can get those kind of rewards. Girl Scouts don't get that. Like when they sell Girl Scout cookies, as much as everybody loves them, they don't make even close to what we make per unit sold. And that's why oftentimes I talk to my scouts and parents so much about, don't worry about what the price point is. You're selling scouting, and the more bags you sell, the more you make, but you don't have to spend as long as other people do. You just don't. And that's such a valuable thing. And then obviously the financial stability that units get from selling popcorn is huge. I know that for our unit, and especially units that are in areas that are less affluent, it allows those scouts to go on trips. It allows them to go to places like Seabase and Summit and Philmont, and it allows them to go to summer camp. For some scouts, it pays their dues, and it pays for fall family camp or spring family camp. You know, there's so many things that it funds. That's all through the effort of these scouts, and they get that, not just the reward of a gift card or the reward of their unit getting money, but they get the confidence of knowing that they've played a part in the success of themselves and their unit and their family in a way. It's a way for them to contribute.
Yep. Yeah, I really like what you said there as far as the different values that scouts learn. Obviously, it is a fundraiser. It is about the dollars, and it's about what the scouts get to do with those dollars, right? And what's possible. But I don't think it's talked about enough. Those different life skills that scouts can learn, and just earning their way. I think it was important back in 1980 when we partnered with the Buffalo Trace Council down in Evansville, Indiana, just a little south of where I'm at. It was important then that scouts earn their way. It's important, and maybe frankly even more important these days, that scouts, that young kids get the opportunity to earn their way. It's writing a check. Kudos to all the families that can write checks, and that's what they choose to do. That's fine. But at the end of the day, the kids they're not learning anything from it. So there's just so many reasons outside of just the dollars, for families to participate. Not only, the life skills, but also, I really enjoy, and I bet you probably have some, hearing those stories of the time that the parents and the scouts spent out selling, and just the funny things that happen and the stories, and they're catching up about the day in between customers and things of that nature. That's all good stuff. That's all important stuff. So anyway, just kind of to add to what you said and kind of give my own opinion there. That's just wanted to throw my 2 cents in there. So
yeah, no, definitely. I'll recount one story real quick, in that we had a lady come up. Her husband had been a scouter for years and years and had passed away, but she was so excited to see us out in front of the store that she actually came back the next day, because we were there both Saturday and Sunday, and she brought an entire box full of scout pocket knives. I mean, he probably had 75 pocket knives, and so she was just donating it because she didn't want it to just sit and not go used. And we ended up actually bringing that whole box of knives back to the troop, and every scout who had their totem chit could pick out a knife. And we kind of got to, help her kind of, remember her husband. And we talked about him when we handed him out and stuff. And it was just a neat story that you wouldn't necessarily think of, but just standing there and having conversations with people, stuff like that just kind of happens, whether it's somebody bringing a whole jar of coins and handing you a whole jar of coins because they want to donate it, or we've had people bring donuts. Our scouts will work in the mornings. Sometimes customers will just come up and be like, "Here, I bought you a dozen donuts," and the scouts will have donuts for breakfast. So it's pretty fun.
There you go. Yeah, donuts. That's awesome. I know a lot of some families will use like M&Ms or something. You get so many no's and you get an M&M.
Yep.
Donuts are even better. That's awesome. There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, that's cool.
Exactly.
Well, I think we're at the point where we're ready to give away our first $100 Trails End reward gift card. As a reminder, to be eligible to win one, please put comments within the chat, and we will be drawing a name out. I'm not sure if we're quite ready yet, but we'll watch for a comment here, and we'll give away the first one as soon as possible. But thanks again to everybody that is watching. Thanks again for taking time to join us and to hear Scott's story, which is a super inspiring story. Thanks again, Scott, for being with us tonight. You mentioned earlier the importance of having a plan and communicating, and that was vital to success. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Again, having a plan and making sure that you're communicating as a popcorn kernel.
Yeah, so I think part of being a kernel, it really is about process. It's about creating a prize plan, creating a team of adults around you, because this job, even if you have a unit that's 15 scouts, have somebody else with you, because that is so vital. It's too big a job to just for one person. We had a team of 7 adults,
Okay.
and but that's just one thing. But the other big thing is creating fun around the program, creating a prize system that your scouts enjoy. We actually let our scouts pick their prizes the last couple of years, and that's turned out really well. But we also do group prizes and things like that. But yeah, so I would tell you, find a prize plan that works for your unit. Keep up the excitement, make it fun, and I think you can be really successful. But the biggest thing is getting those scouts excited, get a prize plan in place, and help build that excitement, and then watch them all kind of catch fire with it, and then seeing them grow from there. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love the fact that you involve your scouts in that process. I think that's fantastic. And real quick, we do have our first $100 gift card winner tonight.
Cool.
Yeah, Kimberly JD joining us from North Dakota. Congratulations, Kimberly.
Good for you, Kimberly.
Yeah, I like that round of applause. That wasn't you or me, but round of applause for Kimberly. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, congrats. That's awesome. Enjoy that $100 gift card. Yours to do what you'd like to do with. One idea that I had is if you're getting geared up for the popcorn fundraiser, you can use it to maybe have for a more exciting kickoff. Buy some supplies, buy some giveaways maybe for the kickoff. But that's yours to do what you want to do with. So congrats. If you would take a second in the comments, this is for the viewers. Let us know what incentive ideas your scouts have come up with. Okay. Go ahead and drop that down in the comments. That'll help with a chance later on to win that second $100 gift card that we're going to give away towards the end of this live event. So Scott, now once you have that involvement, from your scouts and from your families and stuff like that, it's time to get organized. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Once you've got that, it's getting organized. We plan early. That's the biggest thing I would tell people. Plan early. Don't wait till July to plan. We started planning in March for our popcorn season the last couple of years. But yeah, it's pick your prize system, then start to plan, put people in place. The biggest thing on storefronts too is I would say don't just use the ones that Trails End puts in the system. Find some of your own. Find those mom and pop places that are that people are at in your area, and you can get people. I mean, even if they don't buy a ton of popcorn, they're going to donate. They're going to do stuff like that, and that's huge. But do you want me to show you a little bit of what we do at the troop?
Yeah.
So I can show you a little bit of that if you like. So at the troop, We give a gift away at kickoff. So everyone who came this year actually got a mess plate with the troop logo, and you can kind of see that. Um, but they got a mess plate when they came to kickoff, and when they hit $500 in sales, because one of our leaders actually has a laser engraver, is actually going to put their name on the mess plate. And then when they make their first sale, we actually give them a spork, because we had an issue where everybody was losing their mess kits, and they had all bought them at Walmart, so they were all the same blue, so nobody ever knew who anybody's stuff was. But when they make their first sale, yeah, when they make their first sale, they get their spork. And
That's awesome.
so this year, yep, in years previous, one year we actually did a marshmallow skewer,
Yeah.
and at every camp out that we went to, we brought marshmallows and we brought chocolate and we brought graham crackers, and the kids who had sold popcorn could make themselves a s'more. It's just easy, not expensive ways, but things that the scouts will find fun. Uh, I would also tell you our prize structure. We actually do a 3-tier prize structure,
Okay.
because we actually have a raffle. So for every $300 our scouts sell, they get their name entered into a drawing, and we do it once a month. And we actually do Scout Box. There used to actually be a company called Scout Box, but now you can get them on Amazon. But it's about a $40 box, and it's all scouting and outdoor equipment, whether it's hammocks, little stoves, hand warmers, stuff like that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we raffle off one of those each month, and at the end of the season we raffle off a grand prize, which is a 3-month subscription, so not expensive. And then we have the prize structure that basically meets up with where Trails End's system kind of gets off. So we only go to about $1,000 or $1,500, and the scouts get to pick a prize. Like this year, one of the prizes, if you sold over 1,000, was you can get a drone. So you can
Oh.
get that, Lego sets, other things like that. And then if we hit our overall goal as a unit, we actually have a couple of different things. And the last 2 years, what our troops done is we've actually rented out a movie theater, and that movie theater basically will do a first run movie. So like the year that Miss Marvel came out, we actually got to see it the weekend it came out.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, it was a great troop event. I think we had like 130 people there, and we filled the movie theater, and it was a great time. We gave out prizes and just made fun of it. So yeah,
Man. Dang. Man, I'm excited. I want to go sell
yeah,
for Troop 499. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, you guys, it sounds like you guys do a lot to invest in the sale, right? Take some of those
we
dollars
do.
that are coming into the troop, put it back into the sale, make it
Hmm.
that much more exciting and rewarding for your scout families to participate. I gotta imagine all of those great things you just mentioned help to get more participation. There's a lot of
Yeah.
why participate.
Mm.
Themes throughout what you just said, but that's super cool. Kudos to you guys for investing in the sale in the way you do. That's great. I'm sure your scout families love it. So
They do.
that's great. So how do you? I imagine you guys have a big initial kickoff, and then what do
Yep.
you do to keep the momentum going after that kickoff is said and done?
So we actually do a couple of things, and I'm going to show you a friend of mine. So
Nice.
every year, yeah, we get 3 of these guys, and yeah, you got to kind of make it fun and kind of keep it in a way that the kids really enjoy. But we call up all of our scouts each week, and we hand out like this year, like the spork I was talking about. We
Sure.
hand these out to whoever is making their first sale. But the top 3 all get to hold the chicken, and they get to squeeze the chicken. And we actually have a song that we play. If you've ever heard of the song "Ghost Chickens in the Sky," that would be it. And the scouts get, yeah. And while the song plays, the scouts get to just kind of be a little bit crazy. They can make their chickens make all the noise they want, And at the end of the season, because obviously that's our weekly meeting, but at the end of the season we actually give those chickens away. So the top 3 sellers at the end of the season each get their own rubber chicken.
Oh man.
And
Oh
yeah,
man. I'm
yeah.
sure those are coveted chickens. I'm sure. I'm sure everybody's gunning for those. So, did you say? Did you
They are,
say?
but their parents are not. Yeah.
Did you say ghost chicken in the sky?
Yes.
Not to put you on the spot, but if you want to sing it for everybody, I'm all ears. I've never heard it. I've never heard it. So.
Oh, no, no, that is not a good idea. Yeah.
Well,
No, that's it's great though.
I would love to win one of those chickens. I'll be honest. So maybe when this
Yeah.
is done, I'll send you my address if you want to ship me one. I'll take one. No, I'm
There we
just
go.
no. I've gotta earn it. I've got to earn it. So
I hear that.
yep,
I hear
yep.
that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, we've covered a lot tonight, and I appreciate you giving away some of your secrets, which I'm sure is also what you're doing as a district colonel, as you share these things within your district to the other units.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so again, thanks again for joining us, and thanks again for sharing all this super inspirational and a lot of best practices that you mentioned. Um, but tell us, how is communication? How does communication help make your sale really successful?
Um, I think it makes it possible.
Okay.
Whether it's communicating with parents about the value of the sale. I've spent a lot of time talking with our parents about how much money goes into their scout account, and not every unit does scout accounts, but that's one thing we do. Um, I've talked with them about the value per hour. In fact, I actually had a conversation with my wife one time about how much, because my son's 18 now, but
Uh-huh.
the last couple years he was selling, I was explaining to her that he was making more than $20 an hour,
Mm.
and that was just a great value. Uh, but that part of communicating is great. Uh, Also communicating with the scouts weekly about where they are, where the unit is,
Mm.
but communicating between adults is huge. We have a storefront coordinator who spends a lot of time talking with adults, arranging storefronts, making sure everybody has what they need,
Mm.
um, that sort of stuff. And then during the weekend, when you're selling, even if you're selling on a Thursday or Friday, being available to talk to someone if they have a problem with a square reader or if their app's not working right. When we've occasionally had outages, we've all hopped on our band app because we use band, and
Okay.
talked about, okay, for right now just do cash, take cash and then write it down, and you can log it as soon as the system's back up, and just
Mhm.
constantly talking to each other, and reminding everybody that this is about the scouts. It's not about us. It's about making them better, growing them, and putting and just investing in them. So that's, I think, communication is key.
Yep. Yep. I would agree. I would definitely agree with that. And so I know, before we started, you and I were kind of chatting a little bit. I know you
Hmm.
have a very high participation rate within the families
Yes.
that you have within the troop. But what about the families who choose not to sell, not to
Hmm.
participate? How are they involved in the fundraising?
So we do push participation pretty hard.
Mhm.
We have a buyout. So our parents, like this year's, I think is higher than it's been before. It's $300. If they don't want to sell, that's fine. But they'll pay that buyout. Um, there have been years when we've taken that buyout and turned it right back into the sale, and there are years when that just goes into the general fund. But we actually look, because we push participation, we actually make it where if they work a certain amount of shifts, um, they're covered, so they don't have to worry about it. So even if they have a less great shift, uh, as long as they've done something, uh, they're covered that way. But I think we have 52 scouts, and the last couple of years we've had between 36 and 38 scouts who sell. So usually there's 8 or 10 scouts who don't, and they pay the buyout, or we just push them for more involvement, and they usually get involved. But yeah, so that's one other way we address that.
Okay. Okay. Well, I love how you remind your families that the funds are creating opportunities for everyone
Hmm.
to enjoy. Obviously made possible by each of the scouts. That model reflects the values of the scouting program.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Makes sense. So $300 buyout. Okay. Viewers, if you would, in the comments, tell us about some of the goals that your unit is working towards this year, if you would. Again, just take an opportunity, drop some comments in there. Again, those comments will give you a chance to win the second $100 gift card giveaway that we have coming up here. So, Scott, I'm not sure if you know this, but your story was one of inspiration for the new ambassador program that we launched a few weeks back. Didn't know if you knew that, but it's true.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
so I'd
really
like to
great.
take a moment, if I could, and present to you you're an official pop star essentially. So I want to make
Awesome.
that announcement. So congratulations.
Thank you.
You are an inspiration for this program, one of the inspirations. So
Cool.
there you
That's
go.
great to hear.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
you'll get that patch on screen. So thank you for helping to guide the scouts and the leaders in your community, and not only with Troop 499, but obviously as a district colonel now. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for the for the impact that you're having and the impact you're going to have in the future, and also just thank you very much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. Again, taking that hour out of scouting, your hour for the week, and giving
Yeah.
giving half of it to us tonight. So awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Any
Absolutely.
parting words that you wanna have for the group, if you will?
Just make it fun. Make it fun, and it's well worth it.
Awesome. Good. Well,
Yep.
thanks again. We really appreciate it, and I'll watch for my rubber chicken to come in the mail. So sounds
There
good.
you go. Cool. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you very much. So
Yep.
we'd love to welcome more pop stars to our upcoming live events. Tell us your stories and be an inspiration for others by clicking in the link in the comments and letting us know a little bit about your success stories and having the opportunity to become a pop star in one of our upcoming live events. So exciting news. I think we're ready to announce the final selection for the second $100 gift card giveaway of the evening.
Cool.
So we'll watch for that to come through. We're getting close on that. Oh, there we go. Jeffrey, congratulations. You are the
Cool.
second $100 gift card giveaway winner for the night. And
Cool.
greetings to you. So it looks like you're right down the street from the headquarters here in Indiana, which is where I'm sitting. Where I'm in the Trails End office after hours. So there you go. So congratulations, Jeffrey. Watch for that gift card that's coming your way. Next week on PopChat Live, we've got another great episode. I don't know if it'll be as good as this one. Scott's been awesome, but we do have Stephanie will be your host. Stephanie Sutter. She was on one of the last Pop Chats and interviewed a scout. She'll be interviewing another scout, and this is going to be Tuesday, August the 19th. She's going to be interviewing JJ. He was the top selling scout last year and sold $88,000 worth of popcorn. One scout. So
That's a lot.
yeah, pretty awesome. So he'll be on. Make sure to come and listen to his story. It's a very compelling one, just like Scott's, very inspirational, does a lot of great things and gives back just like Scott does to the community. But we can't wait to hear about JJ and his amazing adventures and how popcorn helps fund his journey. So anyway, that's our episode for tonight. Thanks again, Scott. We hope to see you all there next Tuesday, August the 19th. Come and listen to JJ's story. Thanks again, folks. Have a good night.
Have a great night.